Y'all have been requesting this video for so freaking long. I'm talking like almost 2 years. It's time we talk about Discord. And I'm also going to tell you why 99% of streamers are using Discord wrong. So if you're going to get started building a Discord server, you need to know what a Discord server is actually for. So a lot of small streamers think that this is the place that you go in order to stay engaged and interact with your community in the days where you aren't streaming. They also tend to use it as a very primary networking tool, and so they'll go to other people's streams, spend a bunch of time in there, try to grow their relationships in order to one day grow their stream. The problem with this is that that is not the best way to use Discord. Check this out. In this video, we talked about the Help Hub Hero content experience funnel for Twitch streams. However, what I didn't cover in that video is that hub content is not just your stream, but it's also any community space that you have, like Discord or an email list. This means that your top of funnel content, which for most Twitch streamers are YouTube videos, is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get you in front of as many eyeballs as possible. And then you take those eyeballs and you bring them down to the middle of your funnel, which is your Discord or your live Twitch streams. So the problem is, like I said, a lot of small streamers are using Discord as a networking tool. And so what they're doing is they're spending time in a lot of different Discord servers instead of focusing on their own. If you feel like you need to spend time in 15 different Discord servers in order to get enough value out of Discord that is going to help your stream, you are using Discord wrong. I actually talk more about that in this video right here, but what I want you to do right now is start spending more time on your Discord server instead of jumping around and hanging out in everyone else's, because yours would be just as good if you spent as much time on it as everyone else spends on theirs. And the big reason that Discord is so important for streamers is because even though it's not about getting you more eyeballs, it's a perfect tool to help you use the eyeballs that you already have more effectively. I talk a lot more about that in this video, but essentially what you need to know is that your Discord server serves as an email list. Now, email lists are something that digital marketers and online entrepreneurs have been using for over a decade in order to make millions of dollars and attract more people to their brands. This has been something that has not existed for streamers until Discord. So for myself and the other vets out there, we actually didn't have a way before Discord existed in order to stay in touch with our communities whenever we were offline. We had to use social media and Skype groups in order to stay in touch with people. But now you have this awesome tool to use that you should be using right now. If you're a vet and you remember these times, comment below and let me know. Y'all new streamers, you get to serve your communities so much better. I know you might feel like it's worthless to start a Discord server if it's not going to have that many people in it, but really this time for your server is so incredibly important because there are a lot of lessons that you're going to learn right now that you wouldn't learn if you didn't start your Discord server. And so starting one now and learning those lessons, even though there's only 2 people in your server, is very important for your future growth. So if you don't have a Discord server, take this as your sign to start one. Now is the time. And there are some very important foundational channels that every Discord server needs that you want to make sure that you have so that you can give a really great experience to the people who join your Discord. Okay, so here's how you're going to add your baby Discord server. This is going to sound weird for a second because I'm on a different microphone, but you're going to open up Discord. You want to scroll all the way down to the left and click on Add a Server at the very bottom. Then you click Create My Own, and we're just gonna name it YubTub because yubba dub dub. I don't know, that makes no sense. You can upload a photo if you want to. I'm not gonna do that for now because for some reason I'm clicking and it's just slow. Well, your girl needs a new computer. Okay, so now we have our Discord server. Now what we need to do is create some text and voice channels for our community to hang out in. So the first one that we're gonna make is we're gonna make our rules channel. So the way that we're gonna do this is you click the plus right here, you go to create channel, we're just gonna name it rules, create, boom. I'm gonna do this with a few more channels and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is a very basic setup for your first Discord server. In my opinion, these are the most important channels that you need to have in your Discord, and I'm going to tell you why. So first off, we start with the rules and roles channel. This is where you're going to define the experience that your Discord server will give people. It's very important that you have a really strong set of rules set up and that you have clear boundaries for what type of behavior you allow in your space and what you don't, because people will come in, they will push those boundaries, they will play around in the gray area as much as they possibly can to see what those boundaries are. And so you need to be very clear on what the rules are in your community. When it comes to rules and boundaries, it is very easy to allow bad behavior whenever you're a small streamer, because you think that any person that comes into your Discord server is ultimately doing you a favor. But I promise you, this is not true. Bad behavior and allowing bad behavior in your community will actually make people not come into your Discord server, or they'll come into it for 5 minutes and they'll immediately leave because the culture that you allow to thrive in your server is toxic or negative or detrimental to your brand. So do not be ashamed to set boundaries for yourself, because it is one of the most important things that you can do as a community manager. Here are some really important boundaries that I've discovered throughout my 7 years of streaming that you can use as well. So first off, people are free to vent about their personal life and stuff that's going on with their stream, but if they are just there to be toxic and negative and they turn the energy of the entire community into that negative, toxic type of experience, then we are free to ban them, because we want people to come into our space to have a good time and to feel like they're getting something positive and uplifting from the space. So we don't want to attract a ton of people that are just negative, that are going to turn away the people who are positive and thoughtful and are trying to improve themselves. We want to be productive with our energy, not destructive. Another rule for my space, this one's going to be a little bit different for some of you, but I truly believe in inclusivity as much as possible. I think marginalized groups should be defended. So we don't allow like doxing, harassment, sexism, exploitation, racism, homophobia, transphobia, that kind of stuff, because those groups are oftentimes left so completely undefended, and that is just against my moral code. So it's really important to me that I have that rule in my space, that if you're gonna be in my community, you will not be in my space and be calling out or calling all this like negativity towards any specific groups of people. Now, that being said, I think that there are Discords who take that defense way too far and they don't create teaching moments for people. And now that's not to say that every single Discord is responsible for creating those teaching moments for people, because you definitely aren't. But in my space, I want to have space for people to make mistakes. So if they do come in and they say something and we're like, hey, not freaking cool, then they are allowed to have that mistake, allowed to make up for it, and allowed to still be in the community. With the exception of someone who continues to make the exact same mistake, who doesn't listen to myself or the community managers, or who is just so straight up obviously trying to troll or harass someone, they will be removed immediately. But there is space for those people that want to learn to improve and do better next time. Another rule that we had to have is that all of the rules of our Discord server actually apply to every single member's space. So At one point, we had a person in the community who was going out to other community members' Discord servers and streams and harassing them there. They would behave themselves in my server and my streams, but they would go out to other places and just be a huge jerk. So we said, if you're gonna do that, then we reserve the right to ban you within this space as well, because you are using it as essentially a research facility to be able to find people that you can harass and target, and that's not cool. That's not what this community is. So these are boundaries that have worked for me. However, you need to find the ones that work for you. If you're completely opposite on something in here, that is okay. If there are additional rules that you feel like you need to add or rules that you need to take out, that is totally fine as well. Discord is all about cultivating and curating a space that is specifically, uniquely you. So don't hesitate to change any rules that you think need to be changed or add ones that you think should be added. But remember, the main reason to have your rules and roles channel is that you want to use that as the space to show people what kind of behavior you will tolerate and what you won't. As long as you have strong rules and boundaries for your space, then you're fulfilling what this channel needs. Now, it is called Rules and Roles. As a new Discord server, you're not going to be adding roles yet. That's something that's going to come later on. But for now, just know that that is something that's coming, and you're built up in your server to be able to have those when you're ready for them. Oh, I also should say, in this channel, you are the only person who is allowed to post here. No one else is going to be allowed to post here, and you'll change that within the roles. Then we go to announcements. So this is our announcements channel. The purpose of this channel is to keep people clued in to your content. So this is where you're going to post every time that you go live on Twitch, every new YouTube video that you have, social media posts, anytime that you create additional products or you want to push people to other channels in your Discord server, you are going to have this channel to basically use as your email list. And this is the reason right here that having a Discord server is so incredibly important. What you want to do is you want to create a space that is so valuable that people will come back to it over and over because it gives them something, right? It does something more for them other than it just being a place where you post all of your content. But you will be posting all of your content there. And so the likelihood that someone who is in your space will see all of your stuff is really, really high, which means that it's going to lead to more viewers for you, more views on your YouTube videos, more subscribers over time. That's why it is so important that you have a channel early and you build up that velocity or momentum with your Discord server. Now, a big mistake that a lot of small streamers make here is that they'll use @here or @everyone tags in their server. You do not want to do this. People will turn off alerts for your Discord server. It is enough for you to just post the link here, and then over time people will start paying more and more attention to it. You'll get more people in the server, so more people will start seeing all the links that you're posting. And eventually, once you do have the capacity and the need to get more roles for your Discord server, you can create a reaction role, which means that people will opt in. They'll click a little emoji in your rules and roles channel that will give them alerts whenever you post anything in your announcements channel. But that's something that's going to come later on. We're not going to worry about that now because all we want to do is set up our Discord server. So after your announcements channel, those are the two channels that are in your start here section. So these are the two channels that everyone needs to be familiar with, that they're going to see right when they join your server. The next channels are what I call your give and your take channels. So the goal here is that you want to use your give and your take channels to give free stuff out to your community and to receive attention, support, thanks in return. So let's go into each one of these individually. So we've got your thank you Ashni channel. That's what I named it. I call it love notes for Ashni in my server. You can call it thank you letters. You can call it whatever you want. But essentially what you're doing here is something that you're going to learn later on, which is you're creating social proof for yourself. So you give people a space to come in and say, hey, thanks so much, your recent stream really helped me, or thanks for talking me through this thing that I've been going through. or thank you for this recent YouTube video, it really helped me figure something out. And then they will post that in this thank you section of your Discord server, and it will show to everyone else that the work that you do has impact on other people's lives. The reason this is important is because small streamers don't have a lot of social proof. So you don't have hundreds or thousands of viewers out there proving to people that what you do is valuable. And so you have to create that social proof for yourself. And part of, or I guess one way that you can do this is by having a thank you channel in your Discord server, because it shows everybody else that what you do has value. Then we're going to go to our free downloads channel. The goal with this channel is to give people stuff for free for joining your server, which I talk about a lot more in this YouTube video, which I think I already mentioned in this video, but that's fine. We'll throw it up there twice. So a massive mistake that a lot of small streamers make whenever they create a Discord server is that their server doesn't have purpose. The reason this is a major mistake is because there are millions of servers out there, millions of streamers with Discord servers, and the amount of people who will join your server and then leave because it doesn't have a purpose is very, very high. So what we want to do is we want to create a reason beyond just ourselves for people to be in our Discord, and you can easily do this by having some kind of freebie that you give away to people. So this can be free backgrounds that you design, free emotes, free ebooks, free anything that you do, free guides to a video game that you're maining, right? It can be literally anything, but you need to find some kind of free value to be giving people away for free in your server so that they stay and they will eventually start seeing the rest of your content. All right, so the next thing that we need after our give and take channels is we need our community chat channels. You're going to start with one and only one, your general chat channel. Oftentimes small streamers will make a chat channel for literally every single topic that they can ever think of someone wanting to talk about in their server. But the problem with this is that whenever you start to have too many channels in your Discord, it will get very exhausting for people to try and keep up with them. Whenever they first join your server, if they see 20 or 30 different chats that they can hang out in, they're going to feel very overwhelmed looking at all of that, and they're going to be less likely to stay active long term, which is something that you really want if you eventually want to get Discord partnership someday. So keep that in mind. Don't have a billion channels. Keep it very focused and very clean. You definitely will need to add in more chat channels after this, but that's not going to come for a while. Once you realize that the general chat channel is starting to fill up a lot and you start to have a lot of requests for another channel, that's whenever you can add in another one, like emotional support channels. Those have been really beneficial for us, or like a tech support or stream tips channels. All right, so after our general chat channel, then we've got our private channels. The first one that you want is sub only. So this is your sub only Discord channel in your server that's meant purely for you to get closer to your subscribers, because these are the people who love you enough that not only have they seen your help content and they love what you did there, but then they came into your stream and they came into your Discord server and then they liked you so much that they decided they wanted to pay you. And so you want to have a really close relationship with those people, because it is always easier to get someone who has paid you once to pay you again than it is to get someone who has never paid you to pay you. And we want more people to pay us. We want more subscribers, right? We want to grow our streaming business, and so we want to treat those subscribers really well. They get the VIP experience. This is the channel that you're going to be the most active in. So on those days where you're feeling overwhelmed with how many channels that you have to keep up with, just know that you want to prioritize this one and you want to prioritize probably your staff one as well. And if that's all the emotional energy that you have for that day, that's okay. Obviously, as a small Discord server, you want to be as active as possible, but there will be days where you just don't have the energy and you need to know what to do when those days happen instead of just pretend like they're never going to happen. Okay, and then our last foundational channel is our staff channel. So this is where you're going to go once you add in your moderators and you start having community managers, or you have a YouTube manager, a content manager, a social social media manager, your staff is going to hang out here. This is where you're going to talk about what people in the community that everyone needs to keep an eye on, how to resolve any problems that come up if someone's not listening to the rules. This is where you talk about the way that you are going to punish those people. This is a very important channel, okay? Your staff are your ride or dies, baby. Now, these 7 channels are not the only Discord channels that you're going to have in your server. You will expand outside of these 7 in the future, but these are the foundational 7 channels that have been the most beneficial for my Discord server, as long as a lot of my one-on-one stream coaching clients servers as well. So if you only start with these 7, you are on a very strong path in order to grow your server and have a lot more activity in your space. Before we get into my advanced Discord strategies, there's one more thing that you need to know about setting up your Discord server that is very important, and that is, do not let everyone have access to every single channel, okay? So you need to know how to restrict permissions for specific groups of people for every Discord channel that you have. So for example, you should be the only one allowed to post in your rules and roles channel. You should be the only one allowed to post in your announcements channel. Everyone should be allowed to post in your thank you channel. You should be the only one allowed to post in your free downloads channel. Everyone can post in your general chat channels. You and your subs are the only ones that are allowed to post in your sub only channel. And you and your staff are the only ones that are allowed to see and post in your staff channel. So here is how you are going to limit the people who are allowed to see specific channels. You're going to do this with something called permissions. So in your Discord server, you click this little down arrow, go to server settings, go to roles, and then you want to click this little plus right next to roles, and you're going to add a new role. So this one, we're just going to title Ashni, and we're going to make it purple. And then we're going to add one more. We're going to call it staff. We'll make this one this crazy color. And then we're going to add one more, and we're going to make that subs, and we will make this one blue. So now we have a role for everyone. That's our @everyone role. Every single Discord has this role. We have our role for our subs, our role for our staff, and our role for just us, okay? And then we're gonna close out of this, and we're gonna each channel individually. So if we start at staff, you'll go to edit channel, permissions, click one of these, add Ashni, add staff, and then these are the only 2 roles that we need to worry about whenever it comes to our staff channel. So we're gonna make sure that our Ashni role can read and send messages, and we'll save that. We'll make sure our staff role can read and send messages, and then we'll save that. And we'll make sure that everyone cannot read and cannot send messages, and we'll save that. So now the only people who will be able to access this staff channel is anyone that has the Ashni or staff roles. You can add roles to people by going to their name, right-clicking, going to roles, and then clicking on the boxes next to the roles that you want them to have. And now that I have this Ashni and this staff role, I can access the staff channel. So if a random person came in here and I right-clicked on them and I went to roles and I unclicked Ashni because that's not them, but I've clicked staff, then they could see this channel. But if they do not have that box checked, they will not be able to see it. And then you want to go through every channel that you have and apply the right permissions to every channel using the process that I just showed you. Okay, let's get into a couple of my advanced strategies for those of you who have been using Discord for a little while and you want to learn how you can improve your own. The first thing I want you to think about is that there needs to be a progression inside of your community for the people who join your Discord server. Now, what the heck do I mean by that? I mean that someone needs to be able to come into your server, decide whether or not they really like it. And if they do really like it, they need to have opportunities to be able to become more invested in your server. Typically, this looks like either mod applications, maybe they become a community manager, maybe you let them lead some teachings on streaming, or you help them kind of grow their influence in another way within your server. The reason this is important is because your viewers are looking to you to grow their influence as well. Now, this doesn't mean that they're trying to use you to become more important to everyone else around them. It means that they genuinely enjoy your space and they want to contribute to it too. And so for those people that are really invested in your Discord server, you need to find ways to get closer with them and to use the investment that they have to grow your server even stronger and make it better for everyone else that's in it. I have seen in the 7 years I've been doing this, a lot of streamers who do not want to give any level of influence or power away to their community, which is massively detrimental to your ability to grow that community, because your viewers and your community members are looking at you and to you to become more influential. The better you can get at helping other people within your Discord server become more influential to everyone else inside of that Discord server, the more your community will grow, because they see your space as an opportunity for growth for them. Another major mistake that small streamers make here is that they will give all of their time and energy and attention away to anyone who is in their Discord server. So you'll be getting a ton of DMs constantly, and you feel like you must answer them or else the people in your community are going to be mad at you. And I did this so much in the beginning of my career that I burned out multiple times because of it, because I was hearing everyone saying that you have to network and you have to be constantly talking to everyone else. And so I put this pressure on myself of responding to every message, every DM, every comment constantly. And even whenever I started to grow just a little bit, it was too much for me to be able to maintain. Yes, you absolutely want to be there for your community. And yes, you absolutely want to respond to people as much as you can whenever you're small, because more engagement leads to deeper relationships, leads to people watching more of your content. However, if you do this so much to the point where you burn out and you stop creating all of the content anyways, then you completely lose any momentum that you had created for yourself, because you were so invested in having to respond to every single comment. You do not have to respond to everything. It is okay to set boundaries on the time that you will put into responding to comments and your Discord server. And a really simple way to do this is by simply scheduling it into your day. Choose a time where you're free every single day. Dedicate 30 minutes or an hour to purely responding to comments and responding and hanging out in your Discord server. And that 30-minute or 1 hour chunk of time will go a long way to making your community feel like you are consistently there, even though you're not there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you will be way less likely to burn out, which means that you will stick with creating content and managing your Discord server for the long term, which ultimately is going to lead to a lot more growth from you. It is a marathon, y'all. It is not about the sprint. Another strategy that should be used a lot more than it actually is community challenges. These are either 7, 14, or 30-day challenges that you and your community decide to do together. You all unite under a common goal, and then at the end of the challenge, you see who improved the best or who made the best effort towards that goal. So for example, this could look like a 30-day challenge to see who in your community can improve their rank in a game the most. The reason these can be so powerful is because these challenges are public. Oftentimes they come with a hashtag that everyone who participates in the challenge shares on social media. People will share their results. They'll look to you as someone who encouraged them and motivated them to get results. And those external results will prove to other people who are watching from the outside that what you do in your space creates value and results for people in their lives. Which means the people who see all the excitement and the hype and the results from the outside will be way more interested in what you're doing and will also be way more likely to participate in the challenge next time, thereby growing your community. And the good news is it doesn't have to be a challenge for who can improve their rank the most. This can be a challenge for literally anything. Whatever your brand is, consider holding a 7, a 14-day, or a 30-day challenge with your community to improve something that y'all are all experiencing together and unite yourselves together as a community. A lot of y'all know I just did a pre-launch for my YouTube course, The Big YouTube Breakdown, and reflecting on that launch made me realize, like, what the heck was I doing? I should have had a 7-day challenge during that pre-launch because I was already doing these 3 free trainings over things that people started to take action on. And if I had committed 7 days to the community and said, hey, at the end of these 7 days, you're gonna have scheduled out where YouTube fits into your life, you're gonna have chosen your YouTube niche, and you're gonna have edited a single video for your YouTube channel, people would have been very excited about that and it would have been very powerful for my launch. So that's probably something that I'm going to do the next time that I launch another course. Good idea. Yes? No? If y'all want to learn a little bit more about that launch, you can go and check out this video right here where I talk a little bit more about it, and I will see you later. I hope this video was helpful for you because I had to refilm it twice. I love you.